of the left, not most, but many of the left, in my view, in Europe, in Russia, well, have no position about what is going on. And even those, many of them have very confused position and spoken mainly about geopolitical problems between the imperialist powers. And very few words, very few attention was paid to the problems of the workers in Donbass, of the working people in Ukraine who are suffering. And what we try to do now, I am the left activist from Kiev who supported Maidan. I understand all problems with Maidan, but generally I support it. And Alexander, who actually is, from the point of view of Ukrainian government, separatist and terrorist and so on, but who is workers' leader outside Donetsk, who supported this Donetsk People Republic, and is a member of parliament of this workers' republic, which is legal. But we agree that this war was launched by Ukrainian and Russian, but by oligarchs. This war was launched by ruling capitalist classes of Ukraine, both in Kiev and in Donetsk, as well as in Crimea. We agree that Crimea is now under the occupation of oligarchic capitalist power. And mostly the government of Kiev, I absolutely agree, it's an oligarchic, bourgeois capitalist government, which has nothing to do with the real interest of the working people in Ukraine. But unfortunately, the ruling people in Donetsk People Republics are also the kind of local oligarchy supported by Russia. And that is why we try to make this point. And what is absolutely clear for us that ceasefire is needed. Yes, we understand that Minsk agreements is generally the agreement between imperialist powers who are dividing their spheres of interest. But we also understand that each day of this war strengthening mostly far-right forces on the both sides, even clearly neo-Nazi forces, which present on the both sides of conflict. And for us, for leftists, unionists in both sides and regions of Ukraine, is absolutely needed to stop this war, to push the agenda of social justice and international solidarity. And it is very hard to stay on this ground if war will escalate. We agree with Alexander that if involvement of Russia would be older and if it increased, it would be a disaster for workers, communist movement in Donbass, not only in Ukraine. So this is the first point. And the next point is very connected. We appeal to leftists all as well, to leftists from different countries. Give up with any campist logic of supporting one or other imperialist side and trying to present it as a somehow more progressive one. And stop blowing up the war in this sense. Unfortunately, many leftists use kind of hate speech and hatred speeches and contribute to making of an image of enemy of both sides. It's very frequently that leftists use words like fascist junta. Even here in Donetsk, mostly the reasons it's not a junta. Words have this meaning. Not all Ukrainians on Maidan were fascists. It's not true. Not all Ukrainian armed forces are kind of punished. But we of course see the war crimes on both sides, and we should call for punishment for specific war criminals. As well as not all people in Donbass are some terrorists, but of course there are also some right-wingers and so on. Yes, this I probably after my time. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I'm really amazed how much in this first round we already could get as an input in order to make sure whether you or we all agree. I only want to resume the principal points which stuck my mind before giving the word to Alexander, in order to know also whether he agrees who comes from the other side, or geographically the other side, of where the other three are coming from. One thing which I found very interesting was Nina said it's on this analytical scheme that there are no clear answers who is who in this war. And that makes that it somehow the feelings of both sides was that this is, and that's a key word, an artificial war. Artificially created. It is real war now. Artificially created war. Do you agree to this formulation? Then, which is related, this artificially created concept of artificially created war, to another thing which Zachar pointed out, that this war anyway only strengthens the far-right forces. And this was, that I was going to say, this war was launched by the oligarchs from both sides. And last but not least, this emphasis that I made at the end about hate speech, and there must be some promoters of it. Do you also think that this is one of the evils which promotes this war? Because if we can coincide on this points and register them, if we can coincide and agree on these concepts, and I want right away to put the question to you all, if this is like that, what as a consequence could we do about it to change the situation? Not in general, but with regard to hate speech, far right, oligarchs, what should be done, and what is our role as left in that? I know it's a very big package, but you are also a big man.
Спасибо большое.
Thank you very much.
Да, действительно, я абсолютно согласен с Захаром, как он сказал, это решение довольно непросто, но оно жертвенно, оно обдумано, оно является, скажем так, самоучением.
I absolutely agree with Zahar, and I already said that this Zahar was really our common statement, which was read yesterday, and what the example says that was a common vision which did not, which wasn't easy for us to reach, but we absolutely agree with that.
Спасибо. Я имею возможность согласовать каждый пункт нашего принятого решения, которым мы вас ознакомили.
And thanks to internet networks, I had a possibility to agree every point with my colleagues that Donbass, so this joint statement is absolutely agreed with this organization.
Что касается продолжения темы новых технологий, я могу добавить.
Regarding new technologies,
сегодня одна программа на компьютере способна освободить людей от труда более миллиардов человек.
Regarding new technologies, I must say that nowadays one computer program is able to liberate 1 billion of people from physical labor.
Как в свое время двигатель внутреннего сгорания и паровая машина уничтожила феодализм, также и компьютер призвался уничтожить существующую систему.
The same way as internal combustion engine killed the feudalism and steam machine, steam engine killed the feudalism today.
Computers help you.
Yes, today computers
Именно поэтому у нас стоит выбор, либо будет уничтожить человечество, либо значит, изменить систему, либо человечество обречено на смерть.
And that is why now we are facing the choice
изменить экономические отношения и производственные отношения.
Or we will change the economical and productive relationships, or the humanity will get extinct.
Либо человечество погибнет как вид.
As a kind, human kind.
Социальные проблемы, которые возникли на территории Украины, они искусственно разжигались на протяжении длительного времени.
Social problems which we are facing in Ukraine were fueled during quite a long period of time.
Майданы и антимайданы были призваны для того, чтобы накалить обстановку до крайней точки.
Maidan and anti-Maidan movements were caused to hit the conditions, the situation to the higher degree, higher point.
Противостояние на Майдане силовых структур и митингующих пришло к развязке, кровавой развязке.
The contradictions between protesters and police forces on Maidan came to bloody solution, bloody consequences.
Дальнейшие события захлестнули всю Украину, начали гибнуть люди, готов репрессий, который был запущен. Погибли люди во всех фактически частях Украины.
The Further events which flooded Ukraine led to the numerous deaths in all the parts of Ukraine.
Донбасс, видя эту ситуацию, стал на защиту своей территории.
Donbass, observing the situation, stood up to defend their territory.
Присутствовало очень много различных мнений, потому что этот искусственный конфликт на протяжении длительного времени разжигался на национальной, религиозной и исторической почве.
There are different points of view because this conflict was artificially fueled or heated up on nationalist ground, historical and religious grounds.
В результате единый народ был разделен на два воюющих лагеря.
And as a result, the united people of Ukraine were divided into two camps, confronting each other.
И как оказалось, это не предел, и продолжают делить.
And it started to be not the end, not the limit. This is still being under division, so there are forces who are still continuing dividing these two parts of Ukraine.
Я благодарен Леву, благодарен тем, кто здесь собрался и озабочен нашим вопросом.
I'm grateful to Leo and to everyone who gathered here who are concerned by our issues.
Я считаю, мы сможем подтвердить выработанную нашу общую позицию.
And I believe that we should continue. That we can prove in practice the position which we have already elaborated, so we will be able to prove in practice this.
И, возможно, сделаем кое-какие выводы.
And possibly we will make some conclusions.
Наше общее решение
Our common solution
внести заключительную часть данного проекта
is to introduce the final part of this project, joint statement.
следующими пунктами.
We should introduce the following points.
Мы считаем, что окончательное урегулирование вооруженного конфликта на территории Украины
We believe that the final solution of the military conflict in Ukraine,
может быть, для удобства я там прочитать, то есть мы вот набросали, здесь есть на английском, есть на русском языке. Как лучше сделать?
Прочитал. Это, наверное, Саша разработал предложение, нам надо его.
Here the question should be read in English or should be read in
It's not
Russian?
printed yet, so
What is-
it's not
what is-
Excuse me, just in order to save it so short of time, if anybody can have a copy of this.
Leo, it was written just today in Alexander. It's a very short points. It's not printed.
It's not another one.
So the question was,
Okay,
shall we read
I
the
thought
question
you wanted
in
to read
English
this
or
one.
just shall I read it in
Okay,
English?
go ahead.
Because we have translation.
Okay, yes.
Better just translation, okay. We read the final segment of the conflict on the territory of Ukraine and establishing of lasting stable peace is possible only under condition that social problems involving people all over Ukraine are solved. To achieve this, the working class of all regions of the country should be united, especially the need. Not only troops withdrawal from the front line, but also ensuring that all the armed units return to their permanent bases. And the economic blockade of Donbass is during the process. Translations. Not only to cancel all economical, to stop the economical blockade of Donbass, to provide unlimited provision of medicine and food and the goods of the first need. To cancel, to stop persecution of people for their political views, social, religious, or national identity, and to provide possibility of free expression of their views. The fourth, to restore and identify social guarantees, pensions, allowances, and salaries. To lower tariffs for communal services and transport, the prices for food in a way that the price of corresponded consuming minimum wouldn't exceed 30% of minimal wages. To reduce working time to 3-4 hours in order to provide employment for all adult population. To restore destroyed infrastructure destroyed by war, industrial industry, cities and settlements in Donbass, and to repay the harm which was material and moral harm to those the victims of this war.
Thank you very much. This was really a great input because it showed, starting with this overarching subject that we can only make changes in the situation of Ukraine if we change the system, starting with this general announcement which advocates some slogans we use in the social forum when we say change the system and not the climate. You can change only the Ukraine situation. Alexander tried to break down a little bit what I just was trying to ask him, but he didn't reading these points. What should be the concrete points of this system change? That the arms should go to the borders, that there should be particular emphasis on food and climate of necessity, to stop persecution, and to restore social security. These are very concrete points which could be part of the platform. Do you think, now I ask Nina, Zaha, Nadia, whoever wants to take the floor, do you think that, first of all, that you agree with these 4 points, and secondly, perhaps you want to add something to these points to complete the spectrum, and especially also thinking about how can we, if we say food must be distributed, what can we do about it so that this system could work, could be established under the present conditions, which is not the conditions, as we said, of perfect democracy, but must perhaps not the contrary. What can we do to contribute these things to happen? This is a question which I wanted you to discuss perhaps as a final point before we open the floor to a general discussion for the others.
Excuse me, can I change tape because I'm recording everything and now I have to change the
Break, we will
So
leave.
2 minutes break, please.
2 minutes,
1 minute, okay.
no, change tapes.
If you don't want to.
No, it's okay.
Sorry.